What up? 大家好，我是唢呐。Will Smith may be the next actor headed on a path to self-destruct. Now, I really hope that's not true, because despite everything that's gone down, I'm still a fan. In fact, a lot of people are still his fans, especially in Taiwan. But when I began to piece together a timeline of his events involving his marriage and his career, I stumbled upon something so big that once you see it, you will understand very clearly that Will Smith is in danger. And if he doesn't act now, we might lose him before the end of next year. So what I'm about to show you spans multiple events over 20 years, but I've simplified all of it for you by breaking it down into 3 stages: the secret, the ruin, and the execution. Then you might begin to see exactly what I see: the end of Will Smith. Now at this stage, you'll realize that not everyone and everything are what it seems. And what you're about to learn is the one thread that will unravel everything in Will's life. And it all starts with Jada Pinkett Smith, born in 1971 in Baltimore, Maryland. According to her statement, she met rapper Tupac in high school while she was selling drugs.
In your early days when you were younger, you said that you were a drug dealer, and you said you just decided that this one little piece was important to share.
A bad one at that.
You weren't even a good drug dealer.
I wasn't a good one.
And the two immediately began a very close friendship. Now, although they publicly denied it, there was a lot of speculation about the nature of the relationship.
Jada's my heart, you know what I mean? She will be my friend for my whole life. We'll be all together. She can have my one heart, my liver, my lungs, my kidneys, my blood, marrow, all of it.
Coupled with photos that made them appear more intimate than just friends, at the time it was very hard for the public to ignore. But we'll come back to this later. Then, in 1994, Jada went to audition for the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air as Will's girlfriend. Now, although she didn't get the part, Will Smith wrote in his memoir that it was love at first sight. Now take note, Will was married with a kid at the time. In fact, he even talked about crying in the bathroom because he felt he was married to the wrong woman.
When I had a realization that I wasn't with the person I was supposed to be with. I went in the bathroom and I broke down in tears.
Then in 1995, Will's wife filed for divorce, and the same year, Jada and Will made their relationship public. Now, when I found this out, my immediate reaction was, what the fuck? They must have been seeing each other while he was still married, right? In which case, Jada 好像是小三对吧? I mean, wouldn't you think so?
We did not have an affair.
We did not have an affair.
While he was married.
Nope,
Let's be
not at
clear
all.
about that.
Then I found this video.
When Will first called you, I think he was still married, or he was just separated or something.
He was just separated, yeah.
And I was like, he's not available to you. And then
He was the
Hadn't come yet.
hadn't happened yet.
The following year, in 1996, Jada's best friend Tupac was shot and killed. And coincidentally, this was the same year that Will Smith's career took off to superstardom.
Welcome to Earth.
In 1997, a few months after Men in Black became a worldwide hit, Will and Jada got married. But here's the thing, the wedding wasn't exactly all flowers and rainbows.
I really didn't want to get married. It was almost as if Gammy was like, you have to get married. I never wanted to be married. And now I'm being forced to have a wedding.
the wedding was horrible.
You heard it straight from the horse's mouth. Now, I don't know about you, but if my wife confessed something like this publicly, or shit, even just to me, I'd curb her in a heartbeat. But that's me. What would you do? Leave a comment down below. Now, for 12 years, from 1998 to 2010, all was good. It was quiet, and Will and Jada were happy. Jada was raising 2 very talented kids, and Will Smith was starring in hit after hit, reaching the peak of his career. This would be the golden age of Will Smith. Oh, and did you know that The Matrix was originally written with Will Smith as Neo and Jada Pinkett Smith as Trinity? But for some reason, and according to Will's own regret, he turned it down.
All right, this is one of them stories I'm not proud of, but it's the truth. I did turn down Neo in The Matrix.
But through his recommendation, the Wachowski brothers wrote another role specifically to be played by Jada in The Matrix Revolution. That's how powerful Will's word was at that time. And so it begins. In this stage, you're going to see the many layers of Will Smith slowly stripped away until he's left standing naked and holding nothing but his dick in his hand. 2010, the year everything started to go to shit. Will's marriage, his career, and his public image would begin on a downward spiral that would end in embarrassment and chaos. During a 3-year break from movies starting in 2008, Will spent his time carefully planning his wife's 40th birthday. Now, 40 is a big number for men and women. It's a milestone for some women, and it can also be considered the end of their beauty and relevance to others. But Will was determined to make it the most special day for Jada ever.
Your 40th birthday was my low point. The day after her 37th birthday, I hired a team to orchestrate her 40th birthday. I had hired a documentary team. I traced mommy's family roots. It was going to be the thing that lifted her out of this midlife crisis, and it was going to be my deepest, most beautiful proclamation of love, and we did it. And she's told me that the party was the most ridiculous display of my ego.
Ooh.
3 years of organizing, planning, and arranging this birthday event in secret, only to have it thrown in your face.
What kind of shit is that?
Bruh, I could not handle that shit, and I bet most of you couldn't handle it either. But for some weird reason, the biggest star in America not only took it, he even took responsibility for it. But the come down started when his 10-year-old daughter posted a letter on Instagram to Tupac, Jada's closest, most intimate friend.
Dear Tupac, I know you are alive someplace, and I think that my mommy really misses you. Can you please come back? Can you come back so mommy and me can be happy? I wish you were here. I really do. Love, Willow.
Damn. I know these two were friends, but a man's daughter is writing a letter to a dead man? That's hella sus, yo. And it's about to get even more sus. 2013. Rumors start to surface that Will and Jada are in an open relationship, and that Jada's been involved in a romantic affair with singer Mark Anthony. So, she went on Facebook to try and clear it up. Well, kinda.
Will and I both can do whatever we want because we trust each other to do so. This does not mean that we have an open relationship. This means that we have a grown one.
Okay. Jada, what the hell are you doing, woman? And during this, Will Smith had no comment. He said nothing. Now, a few months later, he would release the biggest bomb of his career, coming in at 11% on Rotten Tomatoes after Earth was universally hated by critics and fans. This was not looking good. And afterwards, he would take another 2-year break from movies, only doing some small stuff in between. 2015, after the release of Will Smith's Focus, rumors started to surface that he and co-star Margot Robbie were having an affair. Now, there was no proof, and both of them very publicly denied it. But soon after that, Jada would take a trip to London to see her 2 kids perform at a festival, where her son would introduce her to 21-year-old singer and rapper August Alsina, and this would be the beginning of their so-called entanglement. Now, by the middle of 2015, rumors were swirling of divorce between Will and Jada, and this time it was Will's turn to hop on Facebook and clear things up. Under normal circumstances, I don't usually respond to foolishness. Jada and I are not getting a divorce. I promise you all, if I ever decide to divorce my queen, I swear I will tell you myself. Now, after this public post, many magazine and news outlets started to dig up something that he had said several years before, whenever he spoke to MTV and said, "Divorce can't be an option. With Jada, I stood up in front of God and said, 'Till death do us part.' So, there are 2 possible outcomes. 1, we are going to be together till death, or 2, I am dead." Man. Now, onward to 2016. Will Smith released a few more movies that did not perform well at all, especially for one of the biggest stars in Hollywood. The golden age of Will was officially over, and the dark age of Jada was just about to begin. And it was going to cost Will everything. Well, here we are, the final stage where the river of Will's blood begins to flow. And no matter how hard he tries to swim, he just can't come up for air. May 7th, 2018, Jada would launch her own talk show titled The Reg Table Talks on Facebook, where she would discuss intimate details of her life, her relationships, and her family with other big-name celebrities. Now, at the same time, Will was desperately trying to turn his career around and change with the trends, so he started his own YouTube channel, which became a huge success. But in 2019, Jada jeopardized that success when she posted a video of her filming Will without his consent. And it looks bad, yo.
I would say don't just start filming me without asking me.
I'm still dealing with foolishness.
Don't. My social media presence is my bread and butter.
He looks broken and beaten down and just all around sad. And to make things worse, he would release another bad movie. Then at the beginning of 2020, while promoting another bomb movie, Will would reveal something shocking and regretful.
Were you ever jealous of the love Jada had for Tupac?
Oh, fuck yeah. But she just loved him like he was the image of perfection, but she was with the Fresh Prince. Even we were in a room together a couple times. I couldn't speak to him, you know. No, I was deeply, deeply insecure and just, I wasn't man enough to handle that relationship.
Now, knowing this and how jealous he was, it would be a mic drop moment when on July 10th, August Alsina would claim that Will gave him his blessing to sleep with his wife.
I actually sat down with Will and had a conversation. He gave me his blessing, and I totally gave myself to that relationship for years of my life.
And within just a few hours of this interview, Jada's PR team would come out and claim that this was absolutely not true. But then, less than 2 weeks later, the infamous Red Table Talks episode would air, where Jada and Will admitted to being separated and Jada having an affair or an entanglement with August.
You know, as time went on, I got into a different kind of entanglement with August.
Wait, hold up. Run that back again.
I got into a different kind of entanglement. A different kind of entanglement.
A different type of entanglement? Now, based on her words, a different type of entanglement would mean that it would be different from the other entanglements that she had gotten herself into? So she's been messing around with other dudes before? Like more than one?
What kind of shit is that?
This was not a good look for Will, and this shocked his fans worldwide. Even me. I was wondering, what the hell happened to my hero? This guy punched aliens in the face, and now some kid is fucking his wife, and he don't even dare raise a finger. Well, apparently I wasn't the only one thinking this, because one day after this episode aired, 50 Cent hit up Will Smith on Facebook and trolled the shit out of him. 50, yo Will, you alright over there? Will,
yeah, I'm cool. I appreciate your concern, my brother.
But why'd she tell you that shit on a show for everybody to see?
We broke up, so she did her and I did me.
Then she said only she can get permission for somebody to blow her back out.
Fuck you, Fitty.
Wait, what'd I do? Man, this motherfucker is shameless. But do you know who's even more shameless? August Alsina, when he dropped a music video with Rick Ross called Entanglements. Let me play you my favorite line.
You just want a nigga that's gonna break your back. We left you man and fuck with me just to pay him back.
2020 was the year to shit on Will Smith. But we can't completely blame Jada. The man actually willingly took part in unraveling his career and his personal life. Jada did what few women would do, and Will did what most men won't do. There are a few people out there who will abuse, manipulate, and embarrass their partner, and there are even fewer people who will tolerate it. Now, 2021 would prove to be a little bit better as he would release a memoir and film the movie that would finally earn him his Oscar. But first, Jada had to get one more jab in. On Tupac's would-be 50th birthday in June of that year, she posted a poem written by him directly to her from prison. Now remember, Will Smith had already publicly stated that he was extremely jealous of this guy, but clearly Jada didn't give a fuck. Now after seeing this letter, I got a few questions. How in the hell does that paper still look so new? I mean, he wrote it in prison 25 years ago, and even the ink looks fresh. But that's not what bothers me the most. You see this signature? That doesn't really match Tupac's previous signatures at all. Now, although most of the comments on this Instagram post were positive, there were a few that were brutal. Fake letter. Your wife posts some shit like this, you gotta drop her.
He imprinted her and she can't let go. Fucking hell. Yes, we all know your panties are in a twist because of your loss. Get off his nuts. At Will Smith, you should send her the divorce papers. She pushed it to the furthest limit. I love Jada, but let Will go. Now, what did she post for Will's birthday? Damn. If you're a dead man, you can get all the love in the world from Jada Smith. But if you're alive and providing for her and her family, you don't get no love, son. Now, shortly after Will's birthday and just a few days before he would release his memoir and King Richard, Jada dropped a huge bomb. She would go on her show and publicly humiliate Will once again.
I think you expect your partner to know, especially when it comes to sex. Right. It's like, well, if you love me, you should know.
Jesus, this guy just can't catch a break. So while on tour for his book, all anyone wanted to talk about was his relationship with Jada in and out of the bedroom. How much can this man take? Now, an ordinary guy who had gone through this might have already self-destructed. The end of 2021 was brutal for Will Smith, and it was about to go straight to hell mode. March 28, 2022, the slap heard around the world. We all know it, and we all saw it. And soon after Will Smith slapped his best friend in the face on national television, a video would surface that Jada actually found that shit pretty funny. And soon after that, he would be banned for 10 years from the Oscars, and his next few movies would be canceled. Will has now reached the lowest point, all while trying to defend a woman that he loves, but very clearly doesn't love him. And according to a close source on an interview that's going to be coming out soon, Jada apparently said that she did not need defending. Will just can't win with her, man. So, now that I've laid out everything for you, do you see what I see? It's been almost 10 years of betrayal, embarrassment, ridicule, and shame, all presented in public for the world to see. At this point, I think Will has already started to self-destruct. He's made himself a hypocrite to his own words, he's used violence against his loved ones, and now much of the Western world and Hollywood has shut him out. I just don't see how he can keep up the facade of the happy movie star much longer. Personally, I think he needs to get out of that marriage to Jada as soon as possible. But by his own words, that is not an option. And the only way he's gonna leave is if he's dead. 好吧，让我们继续看下去。But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Remember to like, subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Peace!